who faced abuse, burnout, life-threatening disease, cultural boundaries, confinement, family trauma, or loss. And they've overcome these challenges to find love, acceptance, purpose, joy, freedom, and peace. And we wrote with a mission to connect with ourselves and every woman who wants to embrace her own strength and courage. So this evening, we actually have our sixth author being interviewed by Anu, the lovely Julia Record. And before that, we have Anupama, who is going to be talking for about 10 minutes, I think, and leading us through into a different world as well, I think, as well. So over to you, Anna. And Anu, sorry, Anna.
So hi, everybody, and welcome everybody over here. And I just feel very privileged today. And, you know, I've not known this kind of feeling before. A feeling where it's almost like things are falling into place, not because they have to, but because it's happening. I met two women in last 1 week, Anupama, Julia, and they both are like mirror images of one another. It feels like if one talks, it's the other one really talking and reflecting on each other's life. It's just that they're packaged differently. They look different. They come from different nationalities. I also have to say this, that the journey with the first 5 authors has taken me deeply into various spaces of my life where I have felt, oh my God, like I needed to pinch myself and say, this is happening. Each one of them represented a piece of my life somewhere. So I really, really feel very privileged to have both these authors speaking about themselves. So over to Anupama, and let's hear you out. Thank you.
First of all, you know, when Anu asked me to speak today, in today's session, I really wondered what I would talk about. I mean, yes, I'm a writer to the best of my knowledge. I'm a woman too. But what do I actually have, you know, to offer that's worth anyone's time? And it's always easier to hide behind the fictional stories I weave, infusing little nuggets of my own experience into the characters I dream up and place within the world that I've carefully constructed for my audiences to view. But to drop the facade and reveal what's really on the inside, that takes courage. So kudos to those of you who've not just owned, but also shared your personal stories. And I thought it important to match that honesty and courage and talk about something equally important to me. So a little over 6 months ago, I was living my best life, happily single. Apparently one needs to stress the happily. A healthy, strong, independent working woman in a city, you know, I'd grown so fond of and called home for the last 15 years. I had a job I loved, a show I'd written for Indian audiences that was given a global release by Netflix. I'd adopted 2 kittens, and forgive me for gloating, but I was thriving in the new work from home setup during a global pandemic. I mean, after all, I'd spent the last 5 years as a freelance writer and already had a routine that created a wonderful balance between my personal and professional life. My Instagram was full of stories and videos and photographs of my ingenious cooking, coffee mornings, and musings about how abundant life can be. Not superficially, but on a more serious note. I'd also contemplated my life and settled into the belief that I was the one who had to love me first. I had to value, cherish, and fight for me always. It was no one else's responsibility to save me, and I had to be enough for myself. Not perfect or flawless, but just kind and accepting of all that I lacked, and much, much more appreciative of all that I had to offer as a human being. But back to being frivolous. For the first time in my life, I was just being indulgent about an upcoming birthday. I was celebrating, as one does, what I called my birthday month. I wish that meant that my friends and my family were flooding my home with flowers and presents, and come to think of it, I don't know why they didn't. But birthday month to me was basically where I'd filled my days with meditation, reading my favorite authors, taking time to make myself healthy meals, and really enjoying the little things, like the regular calls with my family, enjoying the playful little kittens, the little nooks and corners of my home, and the wonderfully spacious bed that I had that wasn't being usurped by another human being. Okay, 2 kittens were taking up that space, but you get what I mean. I'll digress here to give you a little seemingly insignificant piece of information about myself. And I promise there is what in my line of work we call a payoff. If you can't tell, I'm a fairly small built person at like 5 foot, nothing, I'm pretty petite. I've been told since I was a teenager that I don't look my age, and things really came to a head when on a trip around Europe with my sister, and we were both in our late 20s. I was repeatedly mistaken to be her teenage daughter. She's only 2 years older. So you get it. I've looked like a kid for a while now. Back to December 2020, midway through my birthday month, I was given a gift by the universe. It probably noticed nobody was sending me any presents. And so for my 39th birthday, the universe gave me an ependymoma. No need to Google the word, let me tell you. Simply put, it's a tumor that was lodged in my spinal cord. Extremely rare in adults, mostly found in, any guesses? Children. Universe, well played. My friends were going to have a field day with this. Anyway, the surgery happened, and unless you want to believe that, you've been listening to a ghost all this time, I suppose it's obvious I survived it. And arguably, so did my sense of humor. I'd be lying if I didn't admit that over the last couple of months, I really wondered about the lesson this life experience has held for me. I've waited for an epiphany. I mean, so many people who have had life-altering experiences seem to come out of it with this, angelic glow, enlightenment. And I was like, come on, universe, it can't all be fun and games at my expense. Where is my special takeaway? That amazing insight that'll end up as this bestseller with, a sit-down interview with Oprah, maybe some indie producer wanting to buy my life rights, something. And eventually, when I gave up trying so hard for the lesson, I think it dawned on me. In our time of need as a family, we were able to rely on the kindness and compassion, not just of our friends and family, but that of absolute strangers. In ways in which people have extended themselves, it's been obvious that it's not just out of a sense of duty or obligation, but joyfully. And it's been overwhelming. My mom told me that each and every person who prayed for me are my friends and family, but she also told me about the countless strangers who kept me in their thoughts and prayers, not just during my surgery, but long after. And undeniably, I feel embraced by an energy that I cannot explain. Yes, I have to love me first, but I don't have to be the only one. Of course, I have to value, cherish, and fight for me always, but others should fight for me too. It was no one else's responsibility to save me, but I should be valued and cherished, and I'm worth fighting for too. Yes, I should accept myself, but I should also be accepted, even though I am not flawless. And I should be appreciated for all that I have to offer as a human being. So, thank you, universe. But for my 40th, I'll just draw up a gift registry. I mean, you guys should share your email addresses. make it, something available on Amazon. We could fund Jeff's next trip into space. Why not?
Thank you so much for that, Anupama. That was brilliant. You brought tears to my eyes. That was honest. And I stopped telling her that, oh, you can talk about this. And I left her whatever she was comfortable with. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Christina, over to you.
Thank you so much, Anupama. I come from a similar place. I have a heart condition, and being able to talk in reality about it is the best way to live with it. So all power to you. So now